Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here. So today, y'all got standing me, y'all got face me. I just have this picture of the caretaker on screen. But as we get into this video here, number one, there will be no streams for the foreseeable future. I'm going to be busy recording that Halloween stuff for y'all. It's going to be some good stuff. I believe the poll is going to be closed after today. So you have today to vote on what horror game y'all want to see me play. And y'all can just go to in my channel, go to the post, and it is the top post. It's split 50-50 between RE2 Remake and RE3 Remake, but the other options are Dead Space Remake and Amnesia The Bunker. So, and also I've never played a proper horror game, at least one that's solo, so it's going to be an interesting experience. But yeah, I'll only get 2 days off. One of those days, I'm definitely going to be playing Borderlands 4, that sort of deal, and the other day I'm going to be using that because I need to record at night and I work second shift. But I record at, gotta record at night, so I gotta take up that stream time. Now, as we get into here, this is brought on. So when I'm, recording this, I've already finished recording my tier list for the rest of the expansions and seasons of Destiny 2. So I've already finished that. I'm not gonna post it quite yet, though. Now, what I kind of hinted at was I noticed I noticed a massive difference in the amount of content and the amount of stuff between the older, like Destiny 1 or even like the older Destiny 2 trailers to what we have now. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up now is because, in my opinion, Bungie is scamming you. You as a Destiny 2 player, Bungie is scamming you. Because they're selling this as a Warmind style expansion, which I'll get into that, but the amount of stuff we've had to do has literally been cut in half for the most part. Now, y'all know me. If y'all know me, y'all seen my tier lists or my rankings of stuff. I like to do spreadsheets. That's mostly like a good way for me to think of stuff. But wha-bam! So what I decided to do here is Witch Queen is here for a comparison. Witch Queen is here for a comparison, but we will get to Warmind because, in my opinion, Warmind is kind of equivalent to Witch Queen, but Witch Queen is a few steps above in terms of amount of content, mostly because Warmind came with like 3 or 4 strikes. The destination did have an activity. It came with a full-blown destination with lost sectors and whatnot, and however, it only came with the raid layer. Meanwhile, Witch Queen came out with the full raid. But also it came with a little bit more activity on the destination itself. But we will get into Warmind Edge of Fate stuff. Now, obviously, we have strikes, raids, dungeons, exotics, subclass shakeups. That means like 3.0 or adding a new frag aspect or something like that. Activities, I'll get into that a little bit later. Campaign story, that's important for a reason. And exotic quests that involves activity. The reason why I'm not saying exactly exotic mission is because Witch Queen, the Parasite, does take you somewhere, and we'll get to Edge of Fate's Graviton Spike quest. But strikes. We got 2 in Witch Queen. We didn't get any for the rest of that year, I believe. Edge of Fate, we got no strikes. Ashen Iron, no strikes. At least for now, unless something just randomly pops up or whatever. Raids and dungeons. Witch Queen, we got 1. Season of Defiance got 0. Season of the Haunted, we got a dungeon. Edge of Fate, we got a raid. And, in my opinion, I'm giving it a lot of grace, but we are getting an epic raid in Ashen Iron. Well, we're getting in the epic raid. In my opinion, that's a little bit of a... It's a little cheap. It's a little bit of a cheap way to do things. Because dungeons are entirely new. We're essentially doing a master raid with doing encounter challenges. That's what we're doing, basically. From what I can tell, but there is some extra loot to it, I guess. But yeah, Ashen Iron. I'm giving a lot of grace to the epic raid. By the way, keep in mind, Season of Defiance launched with Witch Queen. And so far, the only difference between Edge of Fate and Season of Defiance is that there's a raid. Exotics. The plus is armor. The first number is weapons. So Witch Queen, we got 4 weapons. By the way, this is going to be tough to think of off the top of my head, but I did check. Because it was Osteostoriga. All three glaives I counted as one, but you also have Parasite and Collective Obligation. And then for the 2 exotic armor pieces, I'm not going to go for each Guardian class, but for Titan, it was Lorelei Splendor and Hoarfrost. And if y'all remember, Lorelei Splendor was extraordinarily broken and so much fun to use. Now for Season of Defiance, we got 2 weapons, being Vox, no, the mission was off Vox Obscure. We got Dead Messenger, and Grand Overture was the Season Pass exotic. By the way, I believe I counted Season Pass exotic for Witch Queen. Because yeah, it's Parasite, Glaives. Osteostoriga, I believe, is a Season Pass exotic. Well, no, because expansions don't have Season Passes. Whatever. Y'all got what I mean. But that means combined, we did get 6 exotics plus 2 armor pieces. By the way, technically speaking, yes, we got 6 armor pieces technically, but it's more so 2 for each. If you are maining a particular class, you're only going to feel the weight of 2 of those. And then for Season of the Haunted, we got 2 exotic weapons being Heart Shadow and Trespasser, and we got 1 exotic armor piece, which for Titans it was second. It was a second chance. It was second chance. They were void exotic. Well, they were exotic gauntlets that were working with shield throw, but second chance. That was the exotic that came with Season of the Haunted. Now for Edge of Fate, we got 3 exotic weapons, being Third Iteration, which technically was a season, pass exotic, Graviton Spike, and Whirling Ovation, being the raid exotic. And with Ashen Iron, we have 2. The exotic sword and the strand pulse rifle that I don't remember the names of. I don't know if we have the name of the. I'm pretty sure we definitely have to have the name of the exotic sword. But which by the way, I still have to point out, we still do not have a strand exotic sword or a stasis one. We have two solar ones now, Bungie. Where the fuck are exotic stasis and strand ones? We actually still do not even have a strand exotic melee weapon. We at least have a stasis one that you can use called Winter Bite. We have no strand yet, so Bungie, where the fuck is it? But Ash and I, we got 2. So, how come we have basically the same amount of exotics from 2 seasons as we do an expansion and a season or an update? By the way, I did not include Season of the Plunder, because when you include Season of the Plunder compared to Renegades, which we'll get to, this gets worse. This gets a lot worse. A lot worse. I'm telling you that right now, it gets a lot worse. But so, I mean, just eliminating Witch Queen entirely. So far, if we just have Season of Defiance and Season of the Haunted, we have no strikes, we have 1 dungeon, and we have 4 exotics and 1 armor piece. What do we have so far with Edge of Fate? 0 strikes. We have technically 1 raid. We have 1 raid, basically, and an epic version or whatever. And we have 5 exotic weapons plus 1 armor piece. Seeming not too far off. You know, and then subclass shakeups. Witch Queen brought Void 3.0. Season of Defiance didn't bring shit. And Season of the Haunted brought Solar 3.0. Edge of Fate brought nothing. The Mouter Spark cannot be used outside of the expansion, because otherwise I would have to say 2 because of Witch Queen's Deep Sight thing. That I consider to be a destination mechanic, because it cannot be used outside of that destination, even though it's been used in some aspect later. It got used later during Season of the Deep. With Edge of Fate, it is destination locked, so I cannot consider those subclass shakeups. Also, we didn't really have shit. We got no new aspects, no new melees, no new supers, no new nothing. And the sandbox did not change drastically enough for really to me justify subclass shakeup. And Ashen Iron has brought nothing either. Activities. Witch Queen have 4. Preservation, Wellspring, Altars, Public Events. Edge of Fate had 1 being the Sieve. Doesn't have any public events, no nothing. Ashen Iron has 1, being the Reclaim activity. And see, the Defiance had one being the Psyops, which were hard as a GM. If y'all remember, the specifically Psyops Cosmodrome, that was one of the hardest GMs that Bungie has ever like put out. I would argue that like that was like Hollowed Layer kind of realm. But to be fair, Hollowed Layer, we didn't have as many options. And Overlord Scorn, where I painted that, the way they had that set up was a pain in the ass. But Season of the Haunted had two. One of those being the Leviathan destination itself, with the activities you could do in there. But also there was a second one, which was those replayable missions that you could do with Zavala, Keitel, and Crow. You could replay those for extra Redwater drops. I'm not going to get into weapons and armor here because, I mean, let's be real here. Seeds of Defiance brought one armor set, one ornament set. You know, Season of Defiance, one armor set, one ornament set. Edge of Fate, one armor set, one ornament set. Ashen Iron, one armor set, one ornament set. I'm not going to consider, because also you got to get into things like, do you consider Eververse? Do you consider new ritual weapons? Like, what do you consider here? So I'm just dropping that discussion because you're just going to lose here. Edge of Fate. Now, activities for Edge of Fate, Ashen Iron. We only got one for each. By the way, if we want to equate Ashen Iron into the light, we got Onslaught, but we got two modes of Onslaught. So, and also we got two exotic missions. So, yeah, we'll get into that. And then campaign story. Obviously, Witch Queen had one. Season of Defiance had one. Season of the Haunted had one. Edge of Fate had one. Ashen Iron doesn't have anything. It doesn't have anything. And then exotic quest that involves activity. Parasite is an exotic quest. It does involve a little bit of an activity at the end, even if it's not an exotic mission. You still have some combat section or whatever. Season of Defiance, obviously have Vox Obscura as an exotic mission. Edge of Fate, Graviton Spike was an ass exotic mission. Because at the end you just pick up, go here, pick up, go here, pick up, go here, pick up, go here, pick up. It was an obscenely awful exotic quest or whatever. In the Ashen Iron, we are getting a full-blown exotic mission. So let's go ahead and recap everything and how you're being scammed. Let's just see how you're being scammed. You know what? We'll just remove all of this. We'll just remove all of this. Let's just remove Witch Queen. Let's just remove Witch Queen. What have you got? What have you paid $100 for if you bought this yearly pass or whatever? And the reason why I didn't do Beyond Light was because Beyond Light was cheaper, and also, if you look at the year Beyond Light being Season of the Hunt and Season of the Chosen, along with Beyond Light, it gets way worse. Because there's been cuts for a long period of time. Beyond Light had a lot more than people give it credit for, but yeah, things got a lot worse from Beyond Light to Witch Queen, then Witch Queen to Lightfall, then Lightfall to Final Shape. Final Shape, the gap between Final Shape and Lightfall in terms of content or whatever is a lot tighter than Witch Queen to Beyond Light, and so forth and so forth. So, I'm not really going to consider that. Also, something to keep in mind, Lost Sectors. Edge of Fate has none, and technically it has one, which is called Dara, but it is literally 2 areas, and that's it. 2 areas, and that's it. So, I'm not going to play that game. Because it gets even worse for Edge of Fate. Now, just by eliminating, and obviously Witch Queen, I believe was $100. So from what I remember, I believe that was the first expansion that was $100 for the whole year. Because I believe Beyond Light was 80, but I believe Witch Queen was 100. So that's why I went with Witch Queen. And then with Lightfall, you have some certain games. By the way, the season that launches with expansion is considered to be pretty bad. It's generally considered to be pretty bad. So, let's look at here. We got the same amount of strikes for 2 seasons and a so-called mini expansion and update. Raids of Dungeons, we have an epic raid, so that's a little bit more. +1 to Year of Prophecy. Exotics, we have 4+1. We have 5+1. Okay, 1 extra. You know, another point to Year of Prophecy. Subclass shakeups. You point to Year of Witch Queen. Activities. Another point for Year of Witch Queen. Campaign story. Another point for Year of Witch Queen. Exotic quest that involves activity. Neutralizes. Y'all see now how y'all are getting scammed? Not y'all, but you see how we are getting scammed? You and I, we're all getting scammed. We're all getting scammed. That's not counting Witch Queen as an actual expansion. Oh, and let's just go to Warmind. That they're supposed to like Warmind or Curse of Osiris. Both came with a destination. Both came with a major public activity. With Mars, it was Escalation Protocol, my favorite destination activity of all time. And then Mercury, I believe, if I remember correctly, had Infinite Force. Both came with at least 3 strikes. Also, both came with a decent amount of PvP maps as well, which we did not get with Edge of Fate. Both came with a raid layer, which could be equated to kind of like a dungeon. Which, we'll get to Renegades in a minute. So, where are the rest of our fucking strikes? Where are our lost sectors? Where are the exotics as well? Because they had some exotics to them as well. Bungie. But also, let's get into Renegades here. We're probably not getting any strikes. Par for the course. At least they have a little bit more depth to the... It seems like the campaign is going to be a little bit interesting, so the campaign might work a little bit differently. There seems to be that 3v1 mode, might be the new destination activity. In terms of exotics, all we know is we're getting 1 with the lightsaber. I would guess that the blaster... No, the blaster I believe they said was going to be legendary. So, yeah, we just know we're getting a lightsaber. It seems like we're not getting any new exotic armor. We're also... let's just look at Season of Defiance. Let's just look at a Season of Defiance. Equal amount of strikes. Okay, we're getting a dungeon. Oh! What's that? We're only getting 2 exotics? What are we getting with... Seems like with... Renegades? 2 exotics? Because there has to be a Season Pass exotic. Right? It can't be the lightsaber, right? Right? Subclass shakeups? None. Activities? We might have 2. But, it's a little bit of an iffy situation, so we're going to have to wait and see on this. Campaign store? Oh, great. Exotic quest. We're probably not getting any. In my opinion, Year of Prophecy ain't worth 100. It's not worth 100. It's not. It's worth, 60. Let's be real here. Considering that Ashenite update is free, all you're paying for is a fucking season pass. In my opinion, 60 would be a good price for both. Considering that... And also, Season of the Haunted, Leviathan was a fully explorable destination. Guess what Plaguelands is not? A fully explorable destination. So, if I were to talk to y'all, Bungie's talking to us right now. Hello, I have come here to sell you this new big expansion. It's going to be about the size of Warmind or Curse of Osiris, but you're not getting any strikes. You're getting about the same level of endgame activity. We're also going to fuck up your powder grind, which wasn't great back when those expansions were released, but you're really going to go through some pain. And we are never going to fix it. We're never going to fix it. We're going to tell you that we're listening, but we aren't. So do not bother asking. And we're going to, put up trailers and Vidocs and whatever have you. And we are going to tell you, we're going to hype it up as oh, this is a nice expansion and everything. But in all actuality, we're just giving you 2 seasons a year. We're giving you 2 seasons a year. And you're all going to like it. You're all going to like it. Especially those of you that were hyped up. You already gave me your money. You gave us your money. So we don't have to give a fuck. And we'll keep scamming you. We've already been doing it for years at this point. We've already been doing it. So now it's up to us, right? It's up to us, the player base. Are we going to keep letting Bungie scam us? Or not? From my standpoint, I'm done with Destiny 2 after, because like I paid for this shit, so I gotta suffer through it. Because I'm not about to waste my money on another fucking game. I gotta get my money's worth. But look at the spreadsheet. Look at the spreadsheet. Oh, sorry, for y'all, it's over here. Look at the spreadsheet. Look at the spreadsheet. We are getting the same amount of content as seasons. They're selling us seasons as expansions. We are being sold seasons as expansions. What the fuck are we doing? And I know that staff has been reduced or whatever, but you know what they could have done? You know what they could have done? They could have been like, okay, we are no longer giving you a season with the release of an expansion. That would free up some time or whatever. By the way, we're also getting less content than the episodes, but like I'm not gonna get into that. I'm not gonna get into that right now. I'm not gonna get into that right now. I'm just company's cooked. Company's cooked. I haven't played Borderlands 4 yet, but I've heard some good things about it. Destiny Rising has been taking up my time. It's been taking up my time. If Bungie wants an easy W here, bring up power to like +5 or shit. And if you're low, bring it up to like +10 or something. Cause like, it's not just a grind from 400 to 500. It's pretty much the grind after 200 that's rough. Cause I'm at around 350 right now, and I really don't want to push for 400 anymore. So yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Do y'all like getting scammed? Like the video, share it if y'all like getting scammed. Y'all know I do. So let me know what y'all think in the comments below. And it was on that note, I'm gonna catch y'all on the flip side.